Hey folks, welcome to the channel, and in this case, replying to a question that I got here in the comments in YouTube. As I say in all of my videos, if you have any question, anything you'd like me to talk about in future videos, let me know. That's what I'm here for. Let me know in the comments there below. As always, you have my books as well, through Survival Skills and Surviving the Economic Collapse. For this sort of thing, self-defense, tools, and so on, you have this book where I address a lot of these common questions. These are things I've learned over the years in different classes, training, a lot of money invested in all of that over the years in different parts of the world, and basically lessons learned that I share with you folks through them. Also, subscribe to the channel if you like the content. That's much appreciated. By the end of the video, you'll have the button there as well to click on it, or you can do it just right now in there. Yeah, try and really get to that 100,000 subscriber that I'd love to reach. I already have 260,000 subscribers in my Spanish channel. Would be nice to see more here too. Question: do I need a red dot sight in my pistol, right? And the short answer is no, you don't need one. Is it useful to have one? Does it work? Yes, it does. Is it easier to aim and shoot with it? Yes, it is. But do I actually need one? Well, most likely no. Let me go a little bit more into this topic. So I don't have one in any of my handguns. I don't have, and I came very close to buying one many years ago with much younger eyes, and I thought, I guess it's okay, but do I really need it? I can aim well enough with these things. I mean, I'm not trying to be super, national champion of target shooting or anything. I just want to learn to use these tools for the intended purpose, which is, for self-defense, right? These are the kind of things that you have these tools for. I do have a red dot in my carbine right here. I have a nice red dot. This is an aim point, as you clearly see, on a Colt M4 carbine, which is, it's nice. It's good. I also have a, I don't customize things much, but yeah, I do see why a red dot in the carbine makes sense, right? For those of you that don't know, red dot is not a laser, right? A laser projects a beam of light, and you see the beam of the dot of light directly on the target, right? That's a laser sight, right? Projecting a beam of laser on the target itself. The red dot is a very tiny little light projected towards the glass that you see here, and you basically have that dot here inside the tube. And yeah, that's basically what it's all about. It's just a dot of light. There's different size, right? There's a 2 MOA. Red dot aim point, very good. Keep in mind, little tip, the connection between the actual gun and the aim point. Aim point is very good. That's high quality stuff, and a lot of people will spend a lot of money on the red dot, and they will go cheap on the connection between the aim point and the gun. This is Daniel Defense. This is good stuff. This will hold on very well. That's what you want. You don't want to go cheap on that, because the last thing you want is to have a problem with that falling off at the worst possible moment. Screws also tend to be quite bad in some of the cheaper stuff as well. Buying a better mount for your red dot makes a whole lot of sense, and it's not something that people usually think about. They go cheap on the mount for the red dot. Big mistake. And yeah, maybe even so in a pistol, where it's going to be having a lot of more stress than in a long gun, where that is pretty much staying there and not having that movement all the time. Many years ago, I was shooting, and there was this guy, an older man, and he was, man, I don't see my sights, god damn it. And I was, oh, that must suck. It must suck to not see your sights anymore or have problems seeing those. I'm becoming a little bit of an old geezer here myself, right? I'm not a child anymore. It's been closer to grandpa territory over here than that. And my eyes are not what they used to be. I still have very good sight. I don't use glasses. I had my eyes fixed back in the day. So I still see my sights, right? Yeah. Sure, but you know what? Even if I do see my sights, one of the things I do notice You know what? Like when I do this with a camera where I'm focusing here or here, this focus, that's something your eye does as well, right? And when you're young, your eyes will focus very, very quickly, and that's perfectly normal. As you start getting older, like I am, you start noticing that even though I do see, it is that millisecond more of focusing from one thing to the other, right? So you go this, I notice it, man. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one. I'm pretty sure this is just an aspect of getting old, and it sucks, but it is what it is. At least I do see what I'm looking at, and that's a blessing, so I appreciate that. But my point is, as you get older, your eyes are not the same. Now, when you're using your iron sights, which again, dude, yeah, you see them, you align, you shoot, but 1, 2, 3 things you're aligning, and as time goes by, your eyes not being as good, or maybe not being as good in low light conditions or in less than ideal conditions, you have the advantage of the red dot. Is the red dot making it easier? And yes, it is. The red dot helps because it is just one point and then the target. And in fact, if you do things correctly, like you have there with the aim points, you're focusing, your eyes only focus on the target, and this only comes between you and the target, and you don't have to do this what the camera just did. You keep on focusing there. Let's say that E is my target, right? Collapse E there, I'm focusing my eye, that's my target. I'm aiming there, and when I come up, I see the dot that is right on top of that. Again, it's not a laser sight, it is within there, but my eye will do the trick, and it makes it easier, and I don't have to do this of aligning 3 things to hit it. So it works? Yes. Makes things better in some aspects? Yes, it does. What about the pros and cons, right? What would be the disadvantage, or why? Well, first of all, there's a very good chance that if you're using one of these things for self-defense, it's going to be in the typical 0 to 7 meters, all right? Typically, it will be very close range. And if you want to get all tactical, badass John Wick bullshit, let me tell you that if you find yourself in a very dangerous situation, it's not going to be so much about, oh yeah, I'm shooting it out with that guy 100 meters away or 100 yards away. It's going to be maybe 2 or 3 guys on top of you. Typical situation in Argentina where crime is, more organized, more violent, more of a problem. And that's one of the things you notice. Some of these guys have to go against 1, 2 people, maybe 3 people at the same time. And it's going to be a lot more about going fast, maybe not even bothering to aim. It's going to be more point shooting at very close distance, which is a thing, right? Ideally, yes, you use your sights. And there was, I don't remember what gun writer was that, if I have enough space to bring up my gun, I'm using my sights. Okay, I've seen enough of cases like these where at that close range, it is going to be, it's going to be working on instinct rather than carefully aiming. Now, there's been cases in which people tell you, I was so focused, I had this tunnel vision effect that I saw clearly the little scratch in the front like never before. I was seeing things better than I've ever done before, and I was using my sights and all. That can be a thing. That can happen. It can also happen that you just go and shoot as fast as you can, as many targets as you can. Usually when it's gonna be a handgun being used, that is far more likely to be the case than shooting it out at X amount of distance with your red dot and whatnot. The way I see it is following. The gun is perfect as it is, right? You get yourself your Glock, it's fine. You get yourself a quality revolver, it's fine. Anything that you have a little bit more visibility, sure, it does help. Especially for this, one of the things that you train, and I explain this in my books as well, because these are the things I've been taught, and it makes perfect sense, and it does work, which is, you have your target, you bring it up as soon as you have your sight between the target, and as soon as you cover the target with your sight, you just let it have it. And if you practice that enough with the correct stance and so on, you will be accurate enough at this sort of spread at a reasonable distance. And that's usually about as much as you need. A couple rounds, 2, 3, or whatever you need in that target, in that area, it's going to get the job done. Oh, but you don't know. Usually that's how it works. So I just see it this way. The red dot works? Yes. You're a little bit of an older guy. You have it? Yes. Oh, you shut up. I love my red dot sight. I'm a national champion, and I have that in my carry gun. Okay, man. Fantastic. I mean, great. that works for you, great. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying this, that usually it's not something that is as necessary as the marketing may let you to believe it is. There's people that have them and like them. There's people that don't have them. Usually you will see most people that don't have a red dot site because of this that I'm explaining. It usually tends to not be that necessary, right? And as I talked about in one of my previous videos, there are other priorities, right? There is money to be spent in other things. I mean, I chose to buy the red dot for my carbine. Was it absolutely necessary? No. You know, the iron sights would work just as well, but this is something that, especially in a long gun, yeah, it is something that it's nice to have, let's put it that way. And you have the iron backup sights as well. But in a carry gun, it's going to be a little bit more bulky. You are messing with things that you can screw up if you're doing this yourself. Not always the case, but the reliability of the gun is designed so as to work, yes, with compensators, with sights, with you messing a little bit around. But ideally, the gun likes to be as it comes out of the factory, right, where it was made. Ideally, that's the best condition for the gun. Anything you start messing around with, chances, and they're not exactly cheap. I think that money is probably going to be better invested elsewhere. But you do you. I'm just sharing my thoughts here with you folks. As always, if you enjoy the content of the channel, subscribe. You will have the button over there. And if you want to learn more about all of the stuff, you have the links for the books in Amazon and so on. Take care.